Invincible-Chapter 01 Snow-Wind Continent. Night slowly settled in a quiet manner and bright stars began to appear. On the hillside, a child about 6 years old is standing in a strange position. The child's feet are stretched open, toes touching the ground with the heels lifted, hands raised high above the head, his head tilted up, and faint spiritual energy constantly circled within his small body. Moonlight shone down, enveloping the child's body. The boy continued his practice in this bizarre position, inhaling spiritual energy into his body, letting it flow along the meridians. Night slowly passed. As the moonlight faded, replaced by the first rays of sunshine, the child slowly lowered his palms. His eyes opened to reveal deep, dark pupils that seemed to have a sharp golden glint deep within them. Huang Xiaolong breathed out a mouthful of foul air, his eyes staring at the rising sun. From the day he was born till the present day, it had been 7 years since he came to this world. He started practicing the body metamorphose scripture since he was 3, and now 4 years later, he had managed to reach the 3rd stage, palm propping the sky gate. In his previous life, his ancestors trained under the banner of the Shaolin Temple, and the body metamorphose scripture was an inheritance from his ancestors. Until now, Huang Xiaolong has been unable to understand the reason why someone like him, who was hailed as a prodigy of martial arts in his time, was brought to this world. And the matter that depressed Huang Xiaolong the most was that he awoke in the body of a newborn baby. Huang Xiaolong looked at his small thin arms and smiled sourly. He had been 17. And after 14 years of hard work, he had managed to train in the body metamorphose scripture up till the 9th stage. But never could he have imagined that he would be starting all over again. At this moment, Huang Xiaolong heard the soft rustle of footsteps coming from the direction of the hillside. Huang Xiaolong knew who it was without having to look over his shoulder, and sure enough, soon a tender, childlike voice cried out, "Big brother, I know that you are here to see the sunrise. Dad and Mom are looking for you." Huang Xiaolong turned over his shoulder and saw a lovely little 5-year-old girl. Big round eyes and her hair braided into 2 long braids coming up the small hill. This little girl was Huang Xiaolong's sister, Huang Min. Other than Huang Min, Huang Xiaolong had another brother, 3 years younger than him, named Huang Shaohai. "Dad and Mom are looking for me?" Huang Xiaolong asked. "What is the matter?" "I don't know." Huang Min's voice was laced with innocence. "Brother, let's go back. If we are late, then Dad and Mom will spank your backside." When Huang Xiaolong heard this, he smiled and squeezed Huang Min's cute little cheeks before saying, "Let's go then." Huang Min rubbed the spot where Huang Xiaolong pinched her little face, pouted, then said sulkily, "Brother, you are truly hateful. I have told you, no pinching of my cheeks." However, just as Huang Min's finished speaking, her cheeks were once again pinched by Huang Xiaolong, who laughed heartily as he made his escape. Huang Min chased after him, screaming, trying to catch up. "Brother, don't run." The siblings frolicked all the way down the hill until they got back to the Huang clan manor situated at the foothills. Although he was already 17 in his previous life, being with his sister Huang Min brought out the child in him. Soon, the siblings got to the Huang clan manor. Back in the manor, Huang Xiaolong headed straight to the eastern courtyard's main hall. When he arrived at the main hall, there was a scholarly-looking middle-aged man in his mid-30s dressed in a white robe sitting on the head seat. And next to him was a pretty woman. This married couple was Huang Xiaolong's parents in this life. His father Huang Peng. And his mother Su Yan. Dad, Mom. You were looking for me? Huang Xiaolong asked as he walked into the hall. Huang Peng raised his sharp, sword-like brows. Where did you run off to so early in the morning? It's fine. Don't frighten the child. Su Yan interjected with a smile. Longa, in a few days you will be 7 years old. It's about time to awaken the martial spirit in your body. Your father and I are planning to bring you over to the martial hall for the awakening ceremony. Martial spirit awakening? Huang Xiaolong blanked for a moment. In this world, humans have an existence termed as martial spirits in their body. Human warriors' strength was closely related to the talents of these martial spirits. And they were graded into low, average, and high. Within each grade, they are rated 1 to 10. Martial spirits graded 10 and above were considered as superb talent martial spirits. A heaven-defying existence. The higher the talent, the better the body absorbs the world's spiritual energy and become a strong warrior. Nevertheless, there were also people born without martial spirits or crippled martial spirits were unable to train. In martial spirit world, these people were labeled as wastes. Martial spirits. A light flashed across Huang Xiaolong's eyes, for he too wanted to know if he possessed any martial spirit in his body, and if he does, what martial spirit would it be? Thus, Huang Xiaolong was led by Su Yan, and Huang Peng went to the martial hall of the Huang clan manor. When they arrived at the outer area of the scared hall, it was already packed with people waiting with their children wanting to awaken martial spirits. Other than Huang Xiaolong, there were also other brothers of the Huang clan manor who were present. An imposing middle-aged man stood in the center of the martial hall. He had a square face and thick, dense eyebrows, and an oppressive aura came from him. This man was Huang Peng's older brother, Huang Ming, also Huang Xiaolong's uncle. And next to Huang Ming stood a boy the same age as Huang Xiaolong, Uncle Huang Ming's second son, Huang Wei. Also here for the martial spirit awakening ceremony. Huang Peng and Su Yan led Huang Xiaolong to the hall center. Greeting Huang Ming, Huang Peng called out, "Big brother." Huang Xiaolong followed, calling uncle. When Huang Ming saw it was Huang Peng and Su Yan, his expressionless deadpan face loosened slightly. He nodded lightly and said, "You're here." In Huang Xiaolong's memory, he had never seen this uncle of his laugh. Huang Ming was in charge of the Huang clan manor's punishment and disciplinary hall. Therefore, he was a very strict person. Huang Ming did not utter another word after that. And Huang Peng, knowing his brother's temperament, took no offense. Not long after Huang Xiaolong arrived, a hearty laughter resounded from outside the hall. As Huang Xiaolong and the others turned to look, a healthy-looking old man, surrounded by a group of people, entered the hall. This old man was none other Huang Xiaolong's grandfather, Huang Cheetah, the Huang clan manor's lord for the past 40 years. The very person who established the Huang clan. Old Manor Lord. Upon Huang Cheetah's arrival, residents of Huang clan manor present in the hall quickly rushed over to pay their respects. Huang Ming, Huang Peng, and Su Yan also moved forward quickly. Dad. Huang Xiaolong and Huang Wei both came forward. Grandpa. Huang Cheetah smiled, nodded his head at Huang Ming's group before turning to face the rest of Huang Clan Manor's people. He smiled and said, "Do not stand on ceremony. Today, I came over just to have a look." Usually, the old Manor Lord would not make an appearance during the martial spirits awakening ceremony at the martial hall. However, this year was special because of Huang Wei and Huang Xiaolong. This old Manor Lord exited his closed-door retreat earlier than planned. Huang Cheetah walked to the front of the main hall. His eyes swept over the crowd in the hall before finally stopping on an old man in a gray robe standing next to him. Laughing amiably, Huang Cheetah said, "Since everyone is already here, let's begin." "Yes, Manor Lord." The old man in gray robe answered respectfully. And then he walked to the center of the hall. The old man in a gray robe was Huang Clan Manor's chief steward Qin Ying. Huang Xiaolong heard his father said Qin Ying had been a follower of grandfather Huang Cheetah for a long time, even before Huang Cheetah established the Huang Clan Manor. He was already by grandfather's side. Qin Ying stood at the center of the hall. A light glowed in his hands, spreading an overwhelming force around the hall. Huang Xiaolong's eyes flashed. Is this power of a Ninth Order warrior's battle chi? So strong. Even with the strength of his previous life. Having trained in the body metamorphose scripture till the 9th stage, he still would not be Qin Ying's opponent. With Qin Ying's channeling his battle chi. Suddenly, in the center of the hall, a bright hexagonal pattern shone, forming a beam of light. Huang Wei. You first. Huang Cheetah looked to Huang Wei. Yes, grandfather. Huang Wei answered and stepped forward into the hexagonal pattern light beam. As the beam of light fell on Huang Wei, the focus of everyone in the hall was on Huang Wei, who was now standing within the beam of light. Huang Ming's face, which had always been expressionless, showed a faint trace of tension as he watched his son. The beam of light wrapped around Huang Wei for a brief moment before a black light took over and enveloped around Huang Wei. Finally, the black shadow of a tiger gradually emerged from behind Huang Wei. It was a black tiger with 3 eyes. As the shape of the black tiger condensed and became more real, a ferocious tiger's roar echoed in the main hall. Everyone was stunned. Huang Cheetah stared at the faint black shadow behind his grandson Huang Wei. His eyes shone brightly as he let out a big laugh. Tremendously pleased. This is a grade 10 martial spirit. The 3-eyed black tiger. The chief steward Qin Ying cried out in a trembling voice. A 3-eyed black tiger martial spirit was considered one of the top among the high-grade martial spirits. It was infinitely the closest to being a superb talent martial spirit. Huang Wei's martial spirits turned out to be a grade 10 martial spirits. The 3-eyed black tiger. Invincible. Chapter 02 Grade 7 Martial Spirits? A Grade 10 Martial Spirits. It turned out to be a Grade 10 martial spirit. A Grade 10 martial spirits was scarce. Not only in Kanglan County but the entire kingdom. Huang Ming looked the 3-eyed black tiger floating behind his son. Both of his fists were clenched tightly, barely able to contain the excitement he felt at this moment. Even so, his body trembled slightly. Huang Cheetah's laughter continued to reverberate in the hall for a while. He did not expect his impromptu visit to the martial hall would give him such a wonderful surprise. Good, good, good. Huang Cheetah repeated 3 times the word good with a wide smile. Inhaling deeply, He gathered himself as he tried to suppress the excitement in his heart. His eyes were full of joy as he looked lovingly at his grandson possessing a grade 10 martial spirit. He believed with the support and cultivation from the Huang clan manor in regards to his grandson's practice. Huang Wei surely will surpass him and achieve the realm that he could only dream of in his life. At this moment, Huang Peng walked towards Huang Ming to offer his congratulations. Congratulations, big brother. Huang Ming looked at Huang Peng's sincere face. Huang Ming hand patted Huang Peng's shoulders and said, "Thank you. Second brother. Let's wait a while. Xiaolong has yet to awaken his martial spirit. There is a chance that he too might possess a grade 10 martial spirit." However, those who heard this understood that they were only words of comfort. After all, grade 10 martial spirits weren't white cabbages. In the big hall, Huang clan manor elders and some stewards were busy congratulating Huang Ming. "Wei, come here." At this time, Huang Cheetah at the center of the hall laughed as he waved at Huang Wei. "Yes, grandfather," Huang Wei replied. Before arriving at Huang Cheetah's side, he passed in front of Huang Xiaolong. And Huang Wei's eyes inadvertently swept past Huang Xiaolong, carrying obvious complacent and arrogance. This little exchange went unnoticed by others, however. It did not escape Huang Xiaolong's notice. Grade 10 martial spirit. Huang Xiaolong calmly looked back at him. Although Huang Wei was his cousin, the two of them weren't close. 2 years ago, Huang Wei and several children of the elders were bullying his sister Huang Min, and coincidentally, Huang Xiaolong chanced upon this scene. Thus the consequence needed no explanation. Huang Wei and the several elders' children were beaten up miserably. Ever since then Huang Wei has held a grudge. Huang Wei came to stand in front of Huang Cheetah, and Huang Cheetah's hand reached out to rub Huang Wei's head. Smiling and filled with love. Laughing, he turned to Huang Ming and said, "Huang Ming, you did a good job of giving birth to a good grandson." On the other end, listening to his father's praise, Huang Ming felt a little embarrassed. "Dad, don't you think we should first continue with the awakening ceremony?" Huang Cheetah nodded in agreement. This was not the proper time to discuss this matter. Smiling amicably, he said, "Right, let's continue with the awakening ceremony." After Huang Wei, it was Huang Xiaolong's turn. When Huang Cheetah spoke, the elders, stewards, and disciples could not help but turn to look at Huang Xiaolong. Huang Wei, as one of Huang Cheetah's grandsons, has a grade 10 martial spirit. What about Huang Xiaolong? With the assembled clan members watching, Huang Xiaolong calmly stepped into the hexagon-patterned light beam. Huang Peng and Su Yan could not help but hold each other's hand nervously. Even their heartbeats quickened watching their son, Huang Xiaolong, stepping into the hexagonal light beam. Huang Xiaolong did not stay long inside the light beam area. And just like Huang Wei, a black light also appeared around Huang Xiaolong's body. Seeing this scene, the crowd stared blankly. Subsequently, a blue light suddenly appeared next to the black light. Two different lights flashed intermittently, giving a devilish feeling. Then, a black shadow and a blue shadow appeared behind Huang Xiaolong's head. Everyone saw a serpent-like creature that has two heads, one with a black head, the other a blue head. The people around exchanged glances with each other. A double-headed serpent martial spirit? Within their knowledge of beast-type martial spirits, A double-headed serpent was either red or yellow in color. But this double-headed serpent appeared in black and blue. Huang Qida looked at the martial spirit behind Huang Xiaolong. His puzzled eyes were tinted with a trace of disappointment. In his opinion, this grandson's martial spirit was nothing but a variation of the double-headed serpent martial spirit. Some Huang clan manor disciples also possess variation type of martial spirits. Therefore, the emergence of variation martial spirit was not uncommon. Even though a grade 7 double-headed serpents was considered as high-grade martial spirits. Compared to Huang Wei's 3-eyed black tiger, the difference was like heaven and earth. Huang Peng and Su Yan looked at the martial spirit hovering behind their son, and Huang Peng's expression differed not from Huang Qida. Although compared to the majority of the clan people, a grade 7 martial spirit's talent was considered high, Huang Peng was still a little disappointed with the outcome. Which parents doesn't wish the best for their children? Old Manor Lord. What do you think? Chief Steward Chening couldn't help but refer to Huang Qida. Huang Qida declared. A variation of the double-headed serpent. Grade 7 martial spirit. All elders and stewards present in the temple hall nodded their heads, apparently agreeing with the old manor lord's judgment. Grade 7 martial spirits. A variation of the double-headed serpent? Huang Xiaolong stepped out from the hexagonal patterned beam. His face calm. Only he knew his martial spirit wasn't as simple as a variation of the double-headed serpent. Seeing Huang Xiaolong's martial spirit was only a grade 7 variant double-headed serpent, Huang Wei's mouth curved into a mocking sneer, his eyes provoking as they directed at Huang Xiaolong. Huang Xiaolong naturally noticed Huang Wei's provoking eyes. But he doesn't mind in the least, for he is too lazy to play a staring game with a little kid. The child after Huang Xiaolong was elder Zhou Guang's son, Zhou Xuedong. Zhou Xuedong was one of the Huang clan manor kids Huang Xiaolong beat up for bullying Huang Min. Shortly, Zhou Xuedong's martial spirits were revealed. A grade 6 martial spirit, the Blood Eyes Wolf. One by one, more than a dozen of the Huang clan manor's children stepped into the light beam and had their martial spirits awakened. Most of them possessed grade 4 martial spirits. Some 5. And even a few of grade 6 martial spirits. There were a number of waste martial spirits and low-level ones in this round of martial spirits awakening ceremony. Though Huang Xiaolong's martial spirits came in second, but there were not much of a difference, as he and the rest of the Huang clan manor children were just a sideshow, overshadowed by Huang Wei's grade 10 martial spirit. After the awakening ceremony ended, Huang Qida smiled and said to Huang Ming, Huang Peng, and the present elders, I will personally be advising Huang Wei's practice from now on. Personally advise? Everyone was astonished. Yes, Dad. Huang Ming's face bloomed, agreeing immediately. Looking at his own son, Huang Peng sighed regretfully in his heart after hearing his father's plan to oversee Huang Wei's cultivation personally. After a while, the crowd dispersed and the martial hall was closed. Returning to the eastern courtyard, Su Yan's heart was brimming with dissatisfaction. How could Dad show such favoritism? He wants to oversee Huang Wei's practice personally. What about our Xiaolong? Is Xiaolong not his grandson? Huang Peng frowned and waved his hand, his voice heavy as he said, Don't mention this anymore. No one is allowed to bring up this matter in the future. However, in his heart, he too felt aggrieved, but with Huang Wei's grade 10 martial spirit, It was granted that his father would want to do so. Xiaolong, your talent is also good. Put more effort into your practice. Achieving an 8th order warrior will not difficult for you. Huang Peng turned towards Huang Xiaolong and comforted. I understand. Dad Huang Xiaolong opened his mouth wanting to tell Huang Peng and Su Yan that his martial spirit shouldn't be a grade 7. In the end, he could only reply as such and not say anything more. Before Huang Xiaolong left, Huang Peng gave him a cultivation technique for training battle qi and explained the important points Huang Xiaolong should focus on during practice. Huang Xiaolong listened attentively and memorized them in his heart. After leaving the eastern courtyard's main hall, Huang Xiaolong returned to his own small courtyard and began practicing his battle qi according to the cultivation technique his father gave to him. He sat down on the bed and started absorbing the world's spiritual energy according to the first order instruction. As Huang Xiaolong ran the cultivation technique, his martial spirits came out of his body. The variant double-headed serpent emerged behind Huang Xiaolong. The so-called grade 7 double-headed serpent in Huang Cheetah's eyes suddenly stretched its jaw wide and devoured the surrounding spiritual energy at horrifying speed, attracting the spiritual energy around Huang Xiaolong. The spiritual energy devoured by the double-headed serpent flowed into Huang Xiaolong's body, traveling along the meridians and gradually transformed into battle qi. Night approached slowly, and moonlight came shining in from the small courtyard window. A short while later Huang Xiaolong opened his eyes. His face wore an extremely weird expression. Earlier, he followed the instructions from the cultivation technique his father gave him. The Xianqing cultivation technique's first layer, to condense his battle qi by running spiritual energy along the meridians. And he managed to direct the flow of spiritual energy for one complete turn without obstacles or difficulties. Within these few hours, not only did he successfully convert spiritual energy into battle qi, he broke through to first order warrior. Huang Xiaolong's heart was filled with a sense of disbelief. If he remembered correctly, his father mentioned that his grandfather spent nearly 6 months before successfully breaking through to first order warrior. His grandfather, Huang Cheetah's martial spirit, is one of the top grade 8 martial spirits, the 6-winged golden ape. Invincible. Chapter 03. Only Xiaolong is excluded. If others got to know Huang Xiaolong not only managed to convert battle qi but also break through to become a first-order warrior in just a few hours' time, it probably would scare them half to death. Even Huang Xiaolong himself found it hard to believe, much less the others. Although from early on Huang Xiaolong had the suspicion that his martial spirit was not just some simple grade 7 martial spirit, still, this result was too heaven-defying. According to his father, the higher the grade of a martial spirit, the higher the cultivation talent and the faster one's cultivation speed. His grandfather Huang Cheetah possessed a top-tier grade 8 6-winged golden ape martial spirit, and it took him half a year to break through to the first-order warrior, whereas he had only spent a few hours. In other words, his martial spirit's grade was even higher than his grandfather's. Grade 10 martial spirit? No, grade 10 martial spirit's cultivation speed wouldn't be this terrifying. And then a thought streaked across Huang Xiaolong's mind. Superb talent martial spirit. Superb martial spirits existed only in myths and legends. Above grade 10. It was said to exist grade 11. Even 12. Although people are unsure of the highest grade of martial spirits that existed, it was certain that Huang Xiaolong's martial spirit was definitely above grade 10. Moments later, Huang Xiaolong managed to calm down the excitement in his heart and continued running the Xianqing cultivation technique. The double-headed serpent once again emerged behind him with their mouths wide open, devouring the world's spiritual energy while battle qi circulates along Huang Xiaolong's meridians, following the First Order warrior's meridian route. This time around, the battle qi circulation speed was a lot faster than before, and Huang Xiaolong clearly noticed the battle qi within his meridians had grown thicker. Although the difference was not obvious, but after circulating his battle qi a dozen times, the battle qi's thickness increased by almost half of the original density. By the time Huang Xiaolong opened his eyes, the gentle moonlight had dissipated and was replaced by a ray of sunlight streaming in through the window onto his small body. Under the warm morning sun, Huang Xiaolong stretched lazily and got out from the bed. During last night's practice, not only did he break through to a First Order warrior, but he actually reached mid-First Order. Mid-First Order. Huang Xiaolong's deep eyes watched the rising sun. According to this practice speed, within 3 days he would be able to reach late First Order. Perhaps even break through to the Second Order warrior. Huang Xiaolong walked out from the room to the small yard, his small hands clenched into a fist, gathering his battle qi in his fist. Huang Xiaolong punched towards a half-meter big rock at the corner of the small yard. Boom! The sound of an explosion rang out, and the half-meter big rock flew back and fell rolling a few meters away. A corner of the rock crumbled into pieces and scattered on the ground. Huang Xiaolong looked at the result and nodded his head in satisfaction. In general, late First Order warrior's battle qi has the strength of 1 stone. While he was only a mid-First Order, but because he trained in the body metamorphose scripture, his attack power was comparable to a late First Order. The power of 1 stone was calculated at 120 pounds. Huang Xiaolong also noticed after one night of practicing battle qi, the muscles in his body was stronger and firmer. Warriors from the First to Third Order were grouped into the initial stages of cultivation, and in this initial stage, when battle qi flows along the meridians, it would refine the body's muscles. By the time Huang Xiaolong reached the pinnacle of the Third Order warrior, his muscles would be fully developed, enhancing his reflexes, strength, and defense several times higher compared to his current body. At this moment, sounds of light footsteps came from outside the yard. Huang Xiaolong was alerted and then shook his head. He smiled when he knew the visitor was his little sister Huang Min. Sure enough, Huang Min's innocent, tender voice sounded. Big brother. Big brother. Huang Xiaolong turned around and saw Huang Min running into the yard. When she reached Huang Xiaolong, Huang Min was panting heavily. Big brother. Mom and Dad are arguing. Mom and Dad are arguing? What's the matter? Huang Xiaolong was confused for a moment. In his memory, his dad and mom have never quarreled. I don't know the reason, but it seems it's related to uncle, Huang Min said. Uncle? Huang Xiaolong frowned slightly, saying we'll go and see. Leaving the small courtyard with Huang Min, they hurried to the eastern courtyard. However, even before they reached the eastern courtyard's hall, from some distance away, the sound of their parents quarreling echoed out. Big brother is too much. Su Yan's voice, filled with anger, sounded. After the martial spirit awakening ceremony, all the children received a battle qi dan except for our Xiaolong. Huang Xiaolong's pace halted. Battle qi dan? A second-grade pellet. After awakening martial spirit, if one could get a battle chi dan. It speeds up battle chi conversion and of course, for warriors belonging to the initial stages, a battle chi dan also aid in enhances battle chi quality. Didn't Big Brother already say the manor's supply of battle chi dan just ran out? He will compensate Xiaolong next time. Huang Peng's irritated voice was heard coming from inside the hall. There was a total of 26 children during the martial spirit awakening ceremony, and even those with low level and waste martial spirits received a battle chi dan except for our Xiaolong, who is a grade 7 martial spirit who didn't get any. Su Yan raised her voice in anger. Why is it so? Our Xiaolong is his nephew. Huang Xiaolong brows creased into a furrow. Listening to his parents quarrel, he understood clearly other than him. All other children were given a battle chi dan to aid their cultivation. 2 years ago, when Huang Xiaolong seriously beat up Huang Wei. At that time Huang Ming did not say anything. Now it was clear that Uncle Huang Ming's resentment towards him had been stewing for a long time. Although his grandfather, Huang Cheetah, had yet to pass the manor lord position to his uncle Huang Ming, it was irrefutable that most matters of the manor were handled by him, especially in recent years. Just like what his mother, Su Yan, said. Even those with waste and low-level martial spirits were given a battle chi dan. Only Huang Xiaolong, his nephew, did not get any. This was blatant bullying. No matter what, Huang Xiaolong was Huang Ming's nephew. Is it necessary for Huang Ming to act so crudely? Huang Ming's action not only proved he resented Huang Xiaolong, it also equals to sweeping the face of Huang Xiaolong's parents, Huang Peng and Su Yan, in front of all the Huang clan manor elders. This cannot be. I'm going to ask Dad to judge the fairness of this matter. Inside the hall, Su Yan said angrily, for she is unable to swallow this down. You come back here, Huang Peng shouted furiously. For some small matter, you are going to trouble father. Do you think that I haven't lost enough face? Outside the hall, when Huang Xiaolong heard this, he silently turned to leave. A small matter, is it? A glint flashed across Huang Xiaolong's eyes. His uncle Huang Ming has not yet to take over the manor lord's position. But once he has officially taken over, then these types of small things will become bigger. Huang Min saw Huang Xiaolong remained silent and turned to leave without a word. She could not help but dazed for a moment before reacting. She tried to catch up to Huang Xiaolong. Big brother. Big brother. Huang Xiaolong did not reply. The two of them left the eastern courtyard. Coincidentally, just as he stepped out, they came face to face with Huang Wei. Trailing behind him was his usual gang of brothers, the same group that bullied Huang Min. Seeing both Huang Xiaolong and his sister coming out from the eastern courtyard, Huang Wei was startled for a bit before he stepped towards Huang Xiaolong with the group. Note: sweeping slapping face actions of insult. Invincible. Chapter 0 for the annual clan assembly. Seeing Huang Wei and the several boys behind him walking their way, Huang Min swiftly hid behind Huang Xiaolong. Huang Xiaolong stood there, his expression indifferent to Huang Wei and the others who are approaching. Huang Wei came to a stand in front of Huang Xiaolong and looked at him with condescending eyes, saying, Huang Xiaolong, do you think you can protect your sister for a lifetime? Hearing this, Huang Xiaolong revealed a sinister evil smile. His eyes dotted red with a lust for blood. and retorted lightly. So what? Do you want to fight? His heart was already fuming coming out of the eastern courtyard. The eldest son of Elder Zhou Guang, Zhou Xuedong, was standing behind Huang Wei and was unhappy with Huang Xiaolong's attitude. Damn it. Who do you think you? Before his sentence finished, a pitiful cry rang out. And it was due to Huang Xiaolong kicking Zhou Guang in the belly so hard that he flew out, curling like a cooked shrimp. Since Huang Xiaolong's heart was on fire, so the power he exerted in this kick was naturally not light. Zhou Xuedong flew out, dropped to the ground and rolled 6 to 7 meters before coming to a stop. His hands clutched his belly and his mouth was wide opened, but no sound came out. It was as if all his internal organs were burning in a sea of fire. After gasping a few breaths, Zhou Xuedong cried and damn. It was an earth-shattering, ugly-looking of cry. Huang Xiaolong glanced at the dust-covered Zhou Xuedong, his face wet with tears coming down like a waterfall. Huang Xiaolong curled his lips thinking, a little brat is a little brat. Tears just like piss. Just touch it a little and it will start leaking. You. Huang Wei and his gang reacted at this moment. All of them stared at Huang Xiaolong with shock and panic in their eyes. Huang Wei didn't expect Huang Xiaolong to be so ruthless. Even more so compared to 2 years ago. What about me? Huang Xiaolong looked directly at Huang Wei and the boys behind him. A brilliant smile surfaced. You also want me to give you a kick? Hearing this, Huang Wei and the rest retreated a few steps by reflex, looking warily at Huang Xiaolong's right leg. Huang Xiaolong laughed watching this scene, and Huang Xiaolong's laughter caused Huang Wei's face to turn beet red with anger and shame. Fire raged in Huang Wei's heart and he shouted at Huang Xiaolong in order to cover to his embarrassment. Huang Xiaolong, you dare to assault an elder's son without good reason. Just wait for your punishment. Assault without reason? Huang Xiaolong's cold eyes swept across Huang Wei, sharp as a knife. Huang Wei did not dare to look directly at Huang Xiaolong's eyes, declared weakly with false bravado. You wait until the end of the year's annual assembly. I will let you look good. Then, Huang Wei left with the boys trailing behind him in quick, panicky steps, not forgetting to bring along Zhou Xuedong, who is still clutching his belly. Big brother, you hit Zhou Xuedong. If Huang Wei complained about it to eldest uncle, at that time will he? Huang Min asked with a worried expression, thinking how their eldest uncle Huang Ming whipped people during punishment. Huang Min couldn't help but feel afraid. It's nothing. Don't worry about it, Huang Xiaolong said without any concern as he looked at the awkward retreating backs of Huang Wei's group. He was confident that his kick would not leave any detectable bruises or injuries. Even if Huang Ming or Zhou Guang checked Zhou Xuedong's body, they will not find any evidence. Even if his uncle Huang Ming wants to punish him, he would still need to have some evidence, just like 2 years ago when Huang Xiaolong beat up Huang Wei and that several elders' children miserably, yet Huang Xiaolong received no punishment. At the end of the year's clan assembly, Huang Xiaolong muttered to himself after Huang Wei and his group disappeared from view. A sharp light glinted in his eyes. At the end of every year, the Huang clan manor will hold a clan assembly where young people of Huang clan manor of similar ages were allowed to spar with each other as a learning experience. It seems Huang Wei was planning to go against him during the clan assembly at the end of the year. By doing so, Huang Wei will not only display his strength and talent in front of everyone but also settle his grudge with Huang Xiaolong in public. There was still 5 months from now until the clan assembly. And 5 months was enough for with Huang Wei's talent to reach late first order. Moreover, Huang Wei has grandfather Huang Qida's support and advice in cultivation. Huang Xiaolong could not help but to laugh. Albeit a little sinisterly in that case. 5 months later he would beat up Huang Ming's son right in front of his face until even he couldn't recognize his own son. During the annual clan assembly, grandfather would probably come to watch. In Huang Xiaolong's opinion, since Huang Wei was his valued grandson and under his personal tutelage, he will certainly make an appearance. A short while later, Huang Xiaolong sent his sister back before heading to the back mountain. At the back of the mountain, Huang Xiaolong practiced the body metamorphose scripture before returning to his small courtyard. The body metamorphose scripture was Hua Xiao's secret martial art from his previous life. Even if Huang Xiaolong does not cultivate battle qi, he will continue to train in the body metamorphose scripture. It was rumored that once trained to the highest level, there was a mysterious force hidden in the body metamorphose scripture. During last night's battle qi practice, Huang Xiaolong noticed the internal force inside his body circulated along his meridians the same time as battle qi, complementing each other. Huang Xiaolong reaching mid-first order warrior is due to his training in the body metamorphose scripture for 4 years. Otherwise, even if Huang Xiaolong has a superb talent martial spirits, it is impossible to reach mid-first order warrior in just 1 night. Back in his small courtyard, Huang Xiaolong started running the Xian Qin's cultivation technique and continued his battle qi practice. 3 days passed quickly. In these past 3 days, apart from eating and answering nature's call, every minute was spent in practicing. From practicing battle qi in his yard and running to the back mountain to train the body metamorphose scripture. On the 4th day, the silvery moonlight shined in the dead silence of the night. Like the past 3 nights, Huang Xiaolong sat on his bed practiced according to the Xian Qin cultivation technique. The double-headed serpent martial spirit emerged behind him, devouring heaven and earth's spiritual energy at horrifying speed and channeled them into Huang Xiaolong's body, converting into battle qi. Compared to 3 days before, the thickness of Huang Xiaolong's battle qi inside his body had increased by 10 folds. Running the cultivation technique, battle qi surged along the meridians rapidly. After 3 days of non-stop practice, Huang Xiaolong reached the peak of late first order. He had a hunch that tonight he will be able to break through to the second order. About 1 hour later, as battle qi surged in Huang Xiaolong's meridians, the speed became faster and volatile like waves, stormy waves, inducing pain as they crashed against the meridians, but to Huang Xiaolong this level of pain was nothing to him. As battle qi crashed violently in his meridians, Huang Xiaolong had a feeling of breakthrough but was blocked a barrier. Unable crossover akin to a giant wave crashing against a solid wall. Blocked. Huang Xiaolong was not discouraged. He knew it was important to remain calm and continued to run the Xian Qin cultivation technique, circulating battle qi along his meridians when suddenly a sound that only he could hear spread out from his body. The second barrier finally broke. The first layer meridian broke like a cork unplugged. Battle qi instantly gushed into the second layer's meridians enthusiastically. Huang Xiaolong was delighted. Finally, after a few days of hard work, he broke through to the second order warrior. Note: one will let you look good, read as I will let you suffer tremendously. You'll pay the consequences. Invincible. Chapter 05 wants to cripple both of my arms? Second Order Warrior. From the first day of cultivation until the Second Order Warrior, Huang Xiaolong spent no more than 3 days. This was an unprecedented event. In general, Grade 10 martial spirits required at least 1 year's time to break through to Second Order. Even if one possesses a superb talent martial spirit, one needs at least 6 months to achieve this result. However, Huang Xiaolong only spent 3 days, suppressing the excitement in his heart. Huang Xiaolong continued to run the Xian Qing cultivation technique so that the second layer meridians flowed with battle qi, becoming smoother and calmer. If first layer battle qi meridians were akin to a small stream, then the second layer battle qi meridians were comparable to a small river, wider and larger, accommodating more battle qi. The night passed. When the warm morning sunlight streamed through the window onto Huang Xiaolong's body, Huang Xiaolong ended his practice for the night and opened his eyes. After one night's practice, he had stabilized his cultivation of Second Order Warrior. Wonder how's that little brat Huang Wei's progress? Huang Xiaolong thought, before jumping down from his bed and heading out of the room. Huang Xiaolong stretched his limbs lazily facing the sun. In the little yard, Huang Xiaolong caught sight of the very same half-meter-sized big rock in the corner that he hit several days prior. He couldn't resist himself, so he walked up to the big rock while raising his right hand, battle qi wrapped around his palm as he lands a strike on the rock. The big rock shook violently and small pieces of stones crumbled down, scattering all over the place. On the surface of the big rock, one can see minuscule crack lines. Retrieving his right hand, Huang Xiaolong scrutinized the power of his palm and nodded with satisfaction. As per his expectation, after advancing to the Second Order, his strength was comparable to a late Second Order warrior that's equivalent to the power of 2 stones. Back on Earth, if a 7-year-old kid has the strength of 200 pounds, it would be an unbelievable marvel, but here in martial spirit world, it was nothing to be lauded. Leaving his courtyard, Huang Xiaolong headed towards the eastern courtyard. But not far from his little courtyard, he heard several manor guards gossiping. Gee, I heard young Lord Huang Wei successfully converted his battle qi in just 3 days. During our time, it took us 2 months to convert our battle qi. At this rate, in less than 4 months young Lord Huang Wei will be able to break through to the First Order. I wonder how young Lord Xiaolong's practice coming? Young Lord Xiaolong? Although young Lord Xiaolong's talent is not bad, but to successfully condensed battle qi, he would require at least 1 month's time. That is simply incomparable to young Lord Huang Wei's speed. To break through to the First Order it would minimum of 1 year's time. So, that little brat Huang Wei already succeeded in converting his battle qi? Huang Xiaolong stood in the corridor with his hand behind his back, looking like a little adult as he watched the several manor guards walked away. No longer bothered with the guards, Huang Xiaolong continued onwards the eastern courtyard's hall. A brief moment later, after he entered the main hall, Huang Xiaolong noticed besides his father and mother, there was also his little sister, Huang Min, and his 4-year-old little brother, Huang Xiaohai. In the main hall, Dad, Mom, Huang Xiaolong called out as he entered. Sit Huang Peng raised his head indicating a chair. It was obvious there was a trace of worry on his face. Sitting down, Huang Xiaolong found Su Yan's expression carried the same worry as his father's. So he opened his mouth and asked, "Dad, Mom, did something happen? A few days ago, did you beat up Zhou Guang's son?" Huang Peng stared at his son and asked. Huang Xiaolong directed his gaze towards his little sister, Huang Min. Without a doubt, his little sister telltale on him. Conscious that Huang Xiaolong was looking at her, Huang Min stuck out her small tongue, afraid to look at Huang Xiaolong. That kid was looking for a beating. Huang Xiaolong replied calmly. Huang Peng and Su Yan were taken aback and exchanged a look with each other. "How is your practice these few days?" Ignoring his son's answer, Huang Peng changed the topic, no longer questioning on the previous matter. These past few days, Huang Xiaolong had been training day and night. Regardless of the time, Huang Peng and Su Yan had of course noticed this. Both of them felt comforted that Huang Xiaolong was putting effort into his cultivation. Hearing his father's question about his practice, Huang Xiaolong hesitated for a moment. Should he tell the truth? Or should he conceal part of his strength or reveal that he already channeled battle qi? Seeing his son's look of hesitation, Huang Peng comforted him. "It's only been a few days. It doesn't matter if you haven't successfully condensed out battle qi. I spent a whole month before I could do it." "That's right. Xiaolong, your talent is higher than your dad's. You'll definitely be able to condense battle qi after a month," Su Yan said. The truth was, both Huang Peng and Su Yan saw the hesitation on Huang Xiaolong's face, and that made them think Huang Xiaolong was embarrassed to answer that he had yet to condense battle qi. Huang Xiaolong blanked for a moment, listening to his parents' words of comfort. However, after a little thinking, he went along his parents' line of thought, saying, "Dad, Mom, rest assured that 1 month later I will surely be able to condense out battle qi." Listening to their son's oath, both Huang Peng and Su Yan were very pleased. However, worry deepens on their faces about the dubiousness of Huang Xiaolong's oath, and Huang Peng said, "Xiaolong, the day before yesterday, Huang Wei announced that he would cripple both of your arms during the annual clan assembly." Huang Xiaolong finally understood the cause of worry on his parents' face. Others might not dare to do so, but since Huang Wei dares say as much, then during the clan assembly Huang Wei probably will cripple his arms, and claimed it was accidental. At that time, even grandfather Huang Cheetah will not penalize him. Just a few stern words at most. "Cripple both of my arms?" Huang Xiaolong smiled while under the surface a trace of hostility rose. Seeing Huang Xiaolong look of unconcern, Su Yan was afraid that Huang Xiaolong does not know the gravity of the matter. "Xiaolong, Huang Wei has successfully condensed battle qi, and by the end of the year, he will be able to enter late First Order warrior. He'll do what he said at that time. He will definitely cripple both of your arms." As Su Yan said this, an image of Xiaolong's hands being crippled flashed across her mind, and it made her eyes turn red. "What should we do? What can we do?" Su Yan broke down in tears. Huang Peng looked his wife that was drowning in tears and was extremely vexed. "Woman, why are you crying? Can crying be of any help?" Su Yan turned over with a face full of tears. "If Xiaolong is disabled, what will you do then? If both of Xiaolong's hands are wasted, how will he continue to live?" "Huang Peng, why don't you seek Big Brother out? Let him ask Huang Wei to let off our Xiaolong. Implore Big Brother? Huang Peng frowned. I know this will cause you to lose face. But do you prefer to see Xiaolong's hands crippled? Su Yan said, crying even louder. The two little ones, Huang Min and Huang Xiaohai, saw Su Yan crying so miserably. They both walked over to her side and started crying together. All three of them lumped together. Just when Huang Xiaolong wanted to say something, suddenly Huang Peng stood up, gritting his teeth. Okay, I'll go. After saying that, holding Huang Xiaolong's small hand, he led him towards the direction of the northern courtyard. Father, I coming out from the eastern courtyard main hall. Huang Xiaolong opened his mouth wanting to say it was not necessary to look for Huang Ming. But he was interrupted by Huang Peng. Xiaolong, in front of your uncle. You must behave. Understand? After saying that, without waiting for Huang Xiaolong's reply, he and Huang Xiaolong hurried to the northern courtyard. When they reached the northern courtyard, Huang Ming and Huang Wei, the father and son, were in the main hall. Coincidentally, Zhou Guang and Zhou Shuadong were also there. Note: 1 Jin won 1,023 pounds. Weight measurements rounded up for easy understanding. Invincible. Chapter 06. It is useless to beg me. Sitting in the hall. Although Huang Ming finds Huang Peng and Huang Xiaolong's visit a little sudden, he remained seated and did not rise when Huang Peng entered the hall. Second Manor Lord Zhou Guang and his son Zhou Shuadong, seeing it was Huang Peng, immediately stood up and greeted Huang Peng, not daring to remain seated like Huang Ming. Huang Peng first nodded at the Zhou father and son pair, and then he turned to Huang Ming. Big brother. Huang Xiaolong followed with a somewhat reluctant voice. Eldest uncle. Huang Ming's face was expressionless as usual and said, Second brother. You're here. Sit. Huang Peng and Huang Xiaolong sat down on the chairs at the side. As Huang Peng was sitting down, he was thinking how he should word his request to Huang Ming. Second brother. What brings you over here? At this moment, Huang Ming asked. Huang Peng hesitated for a moment before honestly saying, Big brother. I heard that Huang Wei said at the end of the year annual clan assembly, he will cripple both of Xiaolong's arms. So Huang Peng's words trailed off here. Oh, is there such a matter? Huang Ming looked astonished. Huang Xiaolong looking at his uncle Huang Ming's deadpan expression and snickered inwardly. Even his father, Huang Peng, has heard about the matter, which means the news had already spread to the entire Huang clan manor. There is no way that Huang Ming does not know about it. Huang Wei. Is there such a matter? Huang Ming turned over and asked his son. Huang Wei. Huang Wei answered with unblinking eyes and unchanging facial expression. There is no such thing. Glancing at Huang Peng and Huang Xiaolong, Huang Wei continued. In my opinion, there are people who are deliberately using this as an excuse to cause trouble for our northern courtyard. Huang Peng's face was beet red in anger when he heard this. Does this mean that he and his son are idle people with nothing better to do, that they'll run over here to cause trouble for Huang Ming and his son? Huang Xiaolong was watching Huang Ming and Huang Wei. This pair of father and son's performance, where one person asks and the other answers. And he sneered in his heart. Big brother. What do you say about matter? holding back his anger. Huang Peng turned to Huang Ming. Huang Ming waved, still maintaining his deadpan expression. Well, second brother, since there is no such thing. You can go back now. No such thing. The meaning behind Huang Ming's words is extremely clear that Huang Peng came over to look for trouble. Repressing his rising anger, Huang Peng said, Big brother. You mean to say that us, father and son, have nothing better to do, that we came over here to make trouble for you? Huang Ming frowned as his face turned cold. Even if the matter is true. What about it? Sparring between same-ages peers during the clan assembly is a common event. Huang Ming said this frivolously, but he did not mention anything about Huang Wei wanting to cripple both of Huang Xiaolong's arms. Huang Peng stood up in a rage, staring at his big brother Huang Ming. Are you saying even if Huang Wei wasted both of Xiaolong's arms, this is normal? With indifference on his face, Huang Ming said, Then, are you implying that I should ban the peer sparring event during the annual clan assembly? The peer sparring event is a rule set down by father. Do you mean to say the rules set by father are wrong? A harsh light glinted in Huang Xiaolong's eyes. His father's intention is just to have Huang Ming advise his son Huang Wei to let him off. Everyone in the hall knows what his father's intention is. But Huang Ming twisted the facts, claiming that Huang Peng is requesting him, Huang Ming, to ban an event set by their father to make things difficult for him. Zhou Guang and Zhou Shuadong, both father and son, sat there without speaking. But in their eyes, their gloating pleasure is obvious. Huang Peng's face flushed red with anger, clenching both his fists. Taking a deep breath and said to Huang Ming, Xiaolong is your nephew. Huang Ming raised his eyebrow, glanced at Huang Xiaolong and said to Huang Peng, Do I need you to remind me about this? Don't I know he is my nephew? Even if he is my nephew, it is useless for you to beg me. Huang Peng laughed despite his anger. Good, good. Now, he finally sees his big brother's true face, and a chilling feeling filled his heart. Decades of brotherhood. Yet they are no better than strangers. Huang Xiaolong couldn't resist saying in a cold voice, Huang Ming, do you truly think that your son is capable of crippling me during the clan assembly? Impudent. Seeing a little brat like Huang Xiaolong daring to refer to him by name in front of Zhou Guang, he furiously stood up and he raised his palm to strike at Huang Xiaolong. An overbearing battle chi was aimed towards Huang Xiaolong's chest. But suddenly a silhouette flashed, blocking it for Huang Xiaolong. Hong! An explosion resounded and the silhouette blocking in front of Huang Xiaolong staggered back heavily with dang-dang sound. Dad, are you okay? Huang Xiaolong was anxious and he came to his father's side. Huang Peng waved his hand, shaking his head. I'm fine. In the end, Huang Xiaolong is still Huang Ming's nephew. Although he was angered, Huang Ming struck with control. Otherwise, with Huang Peng's late 6th order strength, it would be insufficient to block a palm from Huang Ming. A late 7th order. Huang Xiaolong, seeing that his father is not injured, breathed a sigh of relief. At this time Huang Wei, who was on the side, came up and said, Second uncle, if you want me to let Huang Xiaolong off, it is not impossible as long as Huang Xiaolong kneels down, kowtows 3 times loudly, and lets me slap him 20 times at the end of the year clan assembly, then I will let him off. Kata 3 times and 20 slaps? Huang Peng's brows creased tightly and he looked at his son. Huang Xiaolong looked at Huang Wei and said with a cold voice. In the past or now? I, Huang Xiaolong, kneel before heaven and kneel before earth. But never before a person. Then, turning to Huang Peng he said. Father, let's go. Kneeling before heaven. Kneeling before earth. But never before a person. Huang Peng was startled but he smiled appreciatively. Good, son. Let's go. Saying that, Huang Peng and Huang Xiaolong turned to leave. Huang Wei looked at Huang Peng and Huang Xiaolong's departing silhouettes and with anger rising in his heart. He started yelling at Huang Xiaolong's back. Huang Xiaolong, do you think I wouldn't dare to cripple your arms during the clan assembly? Huang Xiaolong didn't even turn around as he left the northern courtyard entrance with his father. Huang Ming looked at the two disappearing figures. His face complicated. Eldest Manor Lord. This Huang Xiaolong, just because of his identity, was disrespectful to family elders. Even daring to refer to Eldest Manor Lord by name. This is too at this time. Zhou Guang came up to him and said. However, the words had yet to finish before Huang Ming's palm swept past Zhou Guang's face, leaving behind a clear red 5-finger mark on his face. Huang Ming looked at Zhou Guang. His face expressionless but his eyes are like a knife. This is something between us, our brothers. You are not qualified to butt in. Yes, yes. Eldest Manor Lord. It is subordinate's mistake. Subordinate's mistake. Zhou Guang panicked and apologized over and over again. After a while, Huang Xiaolong and his father, Huang Peng, returned to the eastern courtyard. Su Yan, knowing that Huang Xiaolong and Huang Peng had returned, quickly came up and asked in a worried voice. How was it? Huang Peng did not know how to explain. Instead, it was Huang Xiaolong who said. Mom, you don't have to worry about the clan assembly. I will be fine. Nothing will happen to me. After hearing this, Su Yan thought Huang Wei had promised to let Huang Xiaolong off during the clan assembly's sparring event and her worried heart was finally appeased. Smiling, she said. That's good. Then all is good. Huang Peng opened his mouth wanting to say something, but looking at his wife's happy smile. In the end, he said nothing. Invincible. Chapter 07 in Odd Valley. Back in his small courtyard from the eastern courtyard, Huang Xiaolong sat on the wooden bed thinking back to the scene in the northern courtyard. Both Huang Wei and his father's arrogant, cold, and hypocritical performance caused a trace of malice to emerge in his heart. Initially, he had some scruples when he planned to beat up Huang Wei miserably during the end of the year's clan assembly. But now it had completely evaporated. Presumably, Huang Ming thinks the position of the main manor lord will not slip from his fingers. Huang Xiaolong snickered. Ever since the awakening of Huang Wei's martial spirit, the majority of elders were trying to get closer to Huang Ming. Thus the incident with Battle Qi Dan and the northern courtyard seen today. A little while later, repressing his hostility, Huang Xiaolong started running Xianqing cultivation technique to practice his battle qi. The double-headed serpent martial spirit floated behind Huang Xiaolong, devouring the surrounding world's spiritual energy. Huang Xiaolong noticed after his advancement to second-order warrior. His martial spirit's speed of absorbing spiritual energy had increased substantially. Aside from that, Both of the previously palm-sized double-headed serpent martial spirits had grown double in size. Its radiant black light and blue light becoming thicker and brighter as the double-headed serpent martial spirit devoured spiritual energy from the surroundings. Its black and blue lights shimmered constantly. Multiple strands of spiritual energy are being absorbed into Huang Xiaolong's meridians, converting into battle qi continuously, flowing in the second layer meridians over and over again. Quickly, few days passed just like that. These past few days, Huang Xiaolong once again practiced like crazy regardless of the time. The result from these days of practice was that Huang Xiaolong managed to reach the peak of second order. During this period, Huang Peng and Su Yan came over on a daily basis to Huang Xiaolong's small courtyard. Seeing their sons practice in such a crazed manner, both Huang Peng and Su Yan are distressed. Su Yan had even started secretly crying because even though Huang Peng and Huang Xiaolong never mentioned in detail about what happened in the northern courtyard, she still managed to find out from the manor servants' gossip what took place a few days ago. Half a month passed. In this half a month, Huang Xiaolong is either practicing battle qi in his small courtyard or training in his body metamorphose scripture in the back mountain. As the body metamorphose scripture is a secret, he could only sneak out to practice at the back mountain at night. In the dark of night within the thick forest, stood a small figure in a strange position. The dark night, the dense forest trees, and a small figure standing there in a strange position. This scene was complete with the moonlight shining through the gaps of foliage, marking the ground with soft silvery spots. With hands above his head, Huang Xiaolong ran through the body metamorphose scripture law and the world's spiritual energy gathered, making it visible to the naked eye, can be seen gushing into Huang Xiaolong body's meridians, converting into internal force before converging in his dantian under his navel. The night gradually faded as light overtook the darkness. When dew drops on the grass reflects the sunlight, and Huang Xiaolong stops running the body metamorphose law before opening his eyes. Suddenly, Huang Xiaolong gave a low shout waving both of his palms. His silhouette leaps high up from the ground as shadows of the palm strike fall heavily on the grass patch. Energy swirled rapidly in the surrounding space, whistling through the wind. This superior martial skill was something inherited from Huang Xiaolong's family from his previous life. The ethereal palm. As Huang Xiaolong's palms moves, his arms seemingly impalpable and intangible, a palm print condensed of vapor will be imprinted mid-air, not dissipating even after a long time every time his palm strikes. Ethereal palm's highest level of mastery. Condense without dissipating. Endless internal power. In his previous life, Huang Xiaolong was known as martial arts prodigy is not only because of his physique but also due to his amazing comprehension ability. Half an hour later, Huang Xiaolong gradually stopped. After a few breaths' time, trees in the surrounding area tumbled down, a palm print visible on each tree trunk. Looking at the palm prints on the tree trunks, Huang Xiaolong brows wrinkled. If this is his previous life, his ethereal palm would not be leaving any visible mark. In the end, it was all because his internal force is still too weak. I wonder, what is the power of this martial spirit world's fighting skills? Huang Xiaolong thought to himself. Common clans regulations only allowed children who have achieved at least mid-fourth order warrior to practice in the clan's battle skill because only by achieving this level of foundation will they be able to display the power of the battle skill. In the initial warrior stages, they are of little use. At this time, Huang Xiaolong suddenly heard a strange noise behind him. Turning around to look, he saw hanging on a big tree not far away a half-meter in size creature, violet in color with light blue eyes. Violet Devourer Spirit Monkey. Huang Xiaolong was astonished. Huang Xiaolong had seen a drawing of it before from his previous life family's old books. The Violet Devourer Spirit Monkey is a rare spirit beast. Seeing Huang Xiaolong looking at itself, the little violet spirit monkey grinned and squeaked "Ji," his hands gesturing towards Huang Xiaolong. Then it turned around and ran in the direction of the deeper parts of the mountains. Huang Xiaolong hesitated for a second before following the little violet monkey from behind into the depths of the mountains. What surprised Huang Xiaolong was the speed of the Violet Devourer Spirit Monkey as it weaves through the trees. If not for Huang Xiaolong training in the body metamorphose scripture and using sky gyration step, it would really be hard keeping up with the little violet monkey's speed. Half an hour later, after crossing many a small stream and forest area, Huang Xiaolong finally reached an odd valley. Following the little violet monkey, it was quiet inside the valley with heavy yin qi that was spreading out from the inner valley, making Huang Xiaolong furrow his brows. G. When Huang Xiaolong was uncertain if he wanted to enter the valley, the little violet monkey ran back out from within, squeaking at Huang Xiaolong. Apparently, it wants Huang Xiaolong to follow it into the valley. After a brief moment of consideration, Huang Xiaolong lifted his foot and stepped into the valley, following behind the little guy. Entering the valley, a wave of yin qi hit Huang Xiaolong in the face, carrying an unpleasant odor. Not far into the valley, there are piles and mountains of dead bones scattered everywhere, belonging to an era long gone. As they moved deeper into the valley, more and more mountain of bones decorates the scene. Even with Huang Xiaolong's experience of 2 lifetimes, which makes his mind stronger than most children his age, he's unable to keep calm in this situation. However, when Huang Xiaolong was about to turn around and leave, he suddenly came to a large turf of green grass with exotic flowers' fragrances permeating the air. A picture of Eden. In the center of the turf, there is a turquoise lake. Huang Xiaolong was dumbstruck looking at the valley. Never would he have imagined the front half of the valley was littered with dead bones, just like a scene from hell, and the other half a utopia. At this moment, the little violet monkey came before a mountain cliff, squeaking and gesturing towards Huang Xiaolong, pointing to the top of the cliff. Huang Xiaolong walked over and looked towards the direction pointed by those tiny fingers, growing almost at the top of the cliff on a short, thick, green vine was a few red-colored fruit. These red-colored fruits make the one looking at it disoriented. Fragrance from the fruits wafts through the air, mesmerizing their audience. Could this be yang fruit? Huang Xiaolong was stunned, truly surprised. Yang fruit grows on lands of extreme yin, absorbing 9 types of yang qi between heaven and earth. If taken by people who cultivates in battle qi, not only can it enhance battle qi cultivation, it also purifies the marrow and tendon strengthening effect, which will bring unimaginable benefits to one's future cultivation. Notes: Ethereal palm skill base on the ability to manipulate the soft hidden internal force instead of the more direct destructive power. Initial stages warrior. 1st to 3rd order warrior chapter 3. FYI, Huang Xiaolong's name literal translation is Little Dragon. Invincible. Chapter 08 Fortuitous Adventure at the Bottom of the Lake. Huang Xiaolong looked at the several pieces of yang fruit. eyes aflame with want. His throat swallowed nervously. Then turned back to the violet devourer spirit monkey as he finally understood why this little violet monkey brought him over. The several pieces of young fruit are about 20 to 30 meters high on the cliff. This little guy can only look but unable to eat. Thus bringing him over to help him pick? Little guy. You brought me over here to help you pick this young fruit? Huang Xiaolong asked. Gg. Delight showed in the little violet monkey's eyes as it nodded enthusiastically. Huang Xiaolong smiled. This little guy is really quite cute. Turning back towards the young fruit more than 20 meters up on the cliff. And then surveyed the surroundings. The cliff wall was smooth all the way up to the peak almost with no gripping spot. To pick the fruits 20 meters high up is no easy task, especially for the current Huang Xiaolong. Moments later, Huang Xiaolong leaped up, reaching about 4 to 5 meters up. His fingers clawed into the cliff wall. However, the cliff wall was solid hard that his fingers only managed to insert in a few millimeters. But it was enough to support his small body, dangling in mid-air. Subsequently, Huang Xiaolong shaped his left hand into a claw and inserted it into the cliff wall, stabilizing his body. Just like this, one step at a time, Huang Xiaolong slowly climbed towards to young fruit. Every step of the way, Huang Xiaolong needed to exert his internal force to support his body, making it extremely strenuous. When he passed the 10-meter mark, he was already panting heavily, his speed slowing down. On the ground, the cheerful squeaking little violet monkey quiets down. The pair of light blue eyes gazed worriedly at Huang Xiaolong's silhouette, as if he may tumble down at any time. Under the watchful eyes of the purple devourer spirit monkey, Huang Xiaolong's small thin body finally reaches the young fruit after he climbed over 20 meters of height. Looking at the 5 pieces of young fruit in front of him, his eyes shined bright as he withdrew a small cloth prepared earlier, gently picking the young fruit one by one, placing it into the small piece of cloth and wrapping it carefully before leaping down to the ground. In mid-air on the way down, Huang Xiaolong tapped his foot a few times against the cliff wall to soften his landing on the ground. The little violet monkey, seeing Huang Xiaolong successfully picked the several young fruit, started squeaking cheerfully, gesturing with his little paws, extremely happy. After demonstrating his delight, the little violet monkey calmed down and started staring at the cloth bundle containing young fruit in Huang Xiaolong's hand pitifully. Little guy. Catch. Huang Xiaolong could not help but laugh at the antics of the little violet monkey. Removing 2 pieces of young fruit from the cloth bundle and threw it over, the little violet monkey leaped up and caught both fruits, one in each hand, giving Huang Xiaolong a happy cry. It went to a corner, swallowed both fruits, and sat down to absorb the spiritual energy from the young fruit. Seeing the little violet monkey running exercise law, absorbing the energy from the fruit, Huang Xiaolong does not feel strange. Most spiritual beasts can cultivate. Not to mention violet devourer spirit monkey is but a rare top-tier spirit beast. Without disturbing the little violet monkey, Huang Xiaolong surveyed the surrounding valley. After determining that it was safe, he sat 2 down on one side and took out a piece of young fruit and swallowed it, running the Xianqin exercise law to absorb the fruit's energy. When the energy from the young fruit dispersed within Huang Xiaolong's body, almost instantly around Huang Xiaolong's body emerged multiple strands of 9 Yangqi. 9 Yangqi is the purest top-grade fire attribute spiritual qi in the world. Submerged within the 9 Yangqi, Huang Xiaolong has an extremely comfortable and warmth feeling. As if he was soaking in hot springs and the battle qi inside his meridians flowed rapidly. A few hours passed. Huang Xiaolong opened his eyes. After a few hours he finally absorbed all the energy within that young fruit. The battle qi within his body has become thicker by more than doubled. Advancing to late second-order warrior. Originally, according to his estimation, to reach late second order he would need at least another 1.5 months, but it's already achieved now. Huang Xiaolong is happy with this matter. At this moment, a horrible smell assaulted his nose. Looking down he found his whole body covered with a layer of sticky black mud. In his previous life, Huang Xiaolong had taken similar elixir like yang fruit. So he knows this sticky black mud is the impurities inside his body. Huang Xiaolong jumps up feeling refreshingly wonderful and light. Stretching his limbs for a little bit, Huang Xiaolong saw the little violet monkey was still absorbing the yang fruit's energy. He did not bother it and headed towards the lake in the middle of the grass turf. In front of the lake, Huang Xiaolong stripped naked. Carefully set aside the remaining 2 young fruit. With a splash he jumped into the lake, washing off the sticky black mud on his body. Very quickly Huang Xiaolong cleaned himself up and was about to get out from the lake. He suddenly detected traces of cold aura coming from the bottom of the lake. It's hard to notice when one is not paying attention. Huang Xiaolong's interest stirred and he dived down the lake. Diving down a short distance later, Huang Xiaolong saw a cave entrance too far ahead, where the cold aura came from. Moments later, Huang Xiaolong came up in front of the cave entrance and jumped in without hesitation. Jumping through the cave entrance, Huang Xiaolong noticed the walls were dry and not slippery wet as imagined. On one side of the cave wall were inlaid with a water-dispersing pearl the size of a goose egg. If this pearl is taken out for an auction, it's worth more than 100,000 gold coins. Huang Xiaolong couldn't help but be curious about this cave. Walking along the tunnel about 10 meters in, he came to an empty hall about 100 square meters wide. There is nothing inside the hall, and it's obvious with just one glance. There are 3 rooms apart from the empty hall. Huang Xiaolong walked towards the first room. In the first room, Huang Xiaolong gained nothing. It was empty, just like the hall outside. Huang Xiaolong moved on to the second room, and it was also empty. FK, don't tell me the third room is empty too? Huang Xiaolong couldn't help exclaiming. Standing in front of the third room, Huang Xiaolong slowly peeked inside. Inside the third room there is a jade bed. On top of the jade bed was a book made from unknown materials. Also hanging on the walls were a set of half-meter-long black sabers. Pausing for a moment, Huang Xiaolong's eyes fell on the bookcase on top the jade bed. Then he walked over and picked it up. The seemingly thin book once in Huang Xiaolong's hand was so heavy that his arms sank, startling him. What material is it made of that it weighs close to 30 pounds for such thin book? Looking at the book cover, 3 words are written in ancient inscriptions: Azura Tactics. At this exact moment, a terrifying aura of crazed slaughter spread out within Huang Xiaolong's mind, as if there was an explosion. His eyes flickered and he appeared around infinite mountains of bones, surrounded by a boundless sea of blood. Standing on top of a mountain of bones, it was as if he was the embodiment of Azura from hell. Above the endless mountains of bones, ghastly apparitions of resentful spirits trying to invade Huang Xiaolong. Feeling the countless ghastly resentful spirits' desire to swallow him, Lights flickered again in Huang Xiaolong's eyes, then he was back in the third room of the cave. Although only a brief moment, but cold sweat drenched his body. Looking with trepidation at the book in his hand. Azura Tactics. However, on this second look, the scene with the mountains of bones and boundless sea of blood did not appear again, allowing Huang Xiaolong to breathe a heavy sigh of relief. A while later, repressing the shock in his heart with slightly trembling hands, he opened the first page of Azura Tactics. Invincible. Chapter 09, Sabers of Azura. Flipping to the first page of Azura Tactics. A pair of blood-red eyes seems to jump out from the page. A humanoid illustration of an Azura standing upright. Bared upper body of taut muscles with a head of white hair. Studying the humanoid Azura illustration. A sensation of being in hell crept up. Mad slaughter and endless sea of bodies awash Huang Xiaolong. His eyes turned blood-red. Confused and in pain as Huang Xiaolong starts to lose his consciousness within the bloodthirsty madness. Suddenly behind him the double-headed serpent martial spirits appeared, roaring towards the sky, a roar so thunderous that it shakes the heaven. The blood-red slowly faded from his eyes, regaining his conscious. His heart pounding like it's going to burst out from his chest. At this time, the humanoid Azura illustration flew out from the book page. In a bright flash entered between Huang Xiaolong's eyebrows. Inside Huang Xiaolong's mind there's an addition of a new exercise law. The first layer of Azura Tactics. The origin of hell. The beginning of evil. Reciting the first layer of Azura Tactics' battle chi exercise law. Huang Xiaolong finds it deeply profound and mysterious. In martial spirit world, battle chi exercise law is categorized into 4 ranks. Namely heaven, earth, mysterious and yellow, and each rank is further divided into different grades. Low, mid and high level. Wonder what rank is Azura Tactics exercise law? After a while, Huang Xiaolong turned to the second page. On the second page, there is another humanoid illustration of Azura. But this one is slightly different. On the second illustration of Azura, there was a pair of devilish black wings spread open. Domineering and a taste for massacre. Same as previous page's experience. When he turned to the second page, an atmosphere as if originated from hell surrounded Huang Xiaolong. The double-headed serpent once again appeared behind him, suppressing the bloodthirsty desire deluding Huang Xiaolong, and the second layer of Azura Tactics successfully imprinted inside his mind. The third page, fourth page, fifth page. Huang Xiaolong turned the pages one by one. With every page turned, inside his mind will emerge another upper layer of Azura Tactics exercise law. As Huang Xiaolong's page turning speed was slow, it took him more than 2 hours before he managed to reach the last page. One last page. Instead of an illustration, a line of flamboyant calligraphy filled the page, encumbered with hell's aura of slaughter. The one receiving Azura Tactics is accepted as my pro-disciple, governing over Azura Gate. When Azura appears, invincible throughout. This line of words was left behind by the first sovereign of Azura Gate, Run Wuquang. When Azura appears, invincible throughout. Huang Xiaolong was stunned. This Azura Gate's first sovereign, Ran Wuquang, is a little too mad. Right? Between heaven and earth. Who dares to declare themselves as invincible? But this Ran Wuquang wrote after practicing Azura Tactics. He will be invincible against all? A simple line of words, but extremely arrogant and domineering. At this time, a piece of paper fell out from the spine of the book. Apart from the piece of paper there is also a dark-colored ring. Surprised, Huang Xiaolong picked up both items from the ground. From the explanation on the paper, Huang Xiaolong got to know that the ring is called Azura ring. And the two sharp black sabers hanging on the wall is called sabers of Azura. What Huang Xiaolong did not imagine was the Azura ring is actually a spatial ring that only exists in legends. According to his father in the whole of Luo Tong Kingdom, only the emperor has one. Even his grandfather Huang Cheetah doesn't own one. The appearance of a spatial ring can cause bloody contention. Moments later, suppressing the excitement in his heart, according to the instructions stated, pricked his finger and dripped a drop of blood onto Azura ring. As the drop of fresh fell, a bright shone from the dark-colored ring as it floated up and slipped onto Huang Xiaolong's ring finger on his left by itself, then disappearing into Huang Xiaolong's body. When Huang Xiaolong thinks of it, it appears in his ring finger. Sensing the large space within Azura, Huang Xiaolong was delighted. It's more than a few hundred square meters. And with this Azura ring it will be more convenient for him to carry things with him without worrying others will find out. After that, Huang Xiaolong turned around gazing at the pair of black sabers. With a small leap he took down both black sabers. The saber body seemed to emanate a strange buzz that penetrates into people's mind, bringing a cold prickly sensation that creeps people out. Huang Xiaolong examined the sabers of Azura in his hand. Noticing on the body of the sabers fiendish current of black flows faintly, indirectly forming a blurred image of a terrifying image. The longer Huang Xiaolong held the sabers of Azura in hands, the fonder he grew of them. Sabers of Azura. Sabers of slaughter. Great, from here onwards you will accompany me to slaughter all my enemies, Huang Xiaolong said as he caresses the ridge of the saber, as if able to understand the meaning of his words. The sabers issued a cheerful hum. Seeing this, Huang Xiaolong only grew fonder. Then, using the same method as Azura ring, he dripped a few drops of blood onto the sabers. As the drops of fresh blood melded into the sabers, a blood-red light burst out as it flew, one to the left and the other to the right of Huang Xiaolong's arm. On Huang Xiaolong's arms emerged two tiny tattoo-like sabers of Azura. Huang Xiaolong placed the piece of paper and Azura tactics book into Azura ring for safekeeping and prepared to leave the room. However, he paused when he reached the door and turned back looking at the jade bed. He took the cold jade bed away. Stepping out from the room, Huang Xiaolong circled once around the cave. After confirming that he did not miss anything he walks to the exit. He did not plan to remove the inlaid water dispersing pearl at the cave entrance, for he plans to use the cave in the future for his practice, as the cave's well hidden in the valley. That's the reason why he did not take the water dispersing pearl. There are only benefits keeping this cave. Emerging from the lake, Huang Xiaolong swam to the side and put on his clothes, keeping the yang fruit into his ring. Exactly at this moment, the little violet monkey had finished absorbing the spiritual energy from the yang fruit, came running towards Huang Xiaolong in a cheerful gait. Huang Xiaolong notices that after absorbing the yang fruit, the violet devourer spirit monkey's fur became glossier, and its eyes brighter. However, its body size remains the same. Little guy, I have to go back now. I'll come to see you again. Huang Xiaolong leaned forwards and said to the little violet monkey. But, as Huang Xiaolong turned around to leave, The little violet monkey cried out and in a flash appeared on Huang Xiaolong's shoulder, sitting comfortably. Huang Xiaolong, dazed for a moment, laughingly said, "Little guy, don't tell me that you want to follow me home?" Unexpectedly, the little violet monkey squeaked and nodded its little head. Huang Xiaolong did not expect that this little violet monkey will be willing to follow him home. After a brief consideration, he said with a smile, "Well then, let's go." A boy and a monkey departed from the valley, passing through the green turf and the mountains of white bones. Huang Xiaolong, thinking to himself, "Are all these people killed by Ren Wuquang?" Leaving the valley, Huang Xiaolong did not detour, headed straight back to Huang Clan Manor. By the time he reached Huang Clan Manor, it was already noon. Just as he stepped into his small courtyard, he ran into Huang Min, his sister that just stepped out from the small courtyard. "Big brother, where did you go?" Huang Min asked. But it was only up till here as her eyes widened in surprise when she saw the little violet monkey on his shoulder, clapping her hands gleefully, almost shouting, "What a cute little monkey! Big brother, where did you buy it from?" Note: Ren Wuquang lit. To allow my mad violence. A little late, but Huang Xiaolong's name Little Dragon. Invincible. Chapter 10,000-Year-Old Lyrian Heartgrass. By From Where? Listening to his sister Huang Min's gleeful scream, Huang Xiaolong shakes his head and smile, thinking, this violet devourer spirit monkey is a rare spirit beast. Something you can't buy even if you have lots of money. GGG. The little violet monkey squeaked shrilly in protest at Huang Min for calling him little monkey, scaring Huang Min, whose hand was reaching out wanting to pet it. After being startled momentarily, Huang Min widened her eyes and stared angrily at the violet devourer spirit monkey. Thus begins a little violet monkey and a little girl's staring contest. With much difficulty a while later, Huang Xiaolong managed to escape from Huang Min. Looking at Huang Min leaving silhouette, Huang Xiaolong breathes out a heavy sigh of relief. Back in his room, removing the little monkey from his shoulder, he took out the cold jade bed from the Azura ring's space, sitting cross-legged atop and started practicing according to Azura Tactics' first layer. Shortly after running Azura Tactics exercise law, a nefarious cold chill as it coming from the deepest nether of hell shrouding Huang Xiaolong within, continuously being swallowed by his double-headed serpent martial spirits, channeling it into Huang Xiaolong's meridians. As the nefarious frigid cold enters Huang Xiaolong's body, he couldn't help but shiver, feeling as if being buried under 1,000 feet glacier. Huang Xiaolong's heart tightened, quickly forging his mind, and kept running Azura Tactics to refine the cold frigid energy. This cold frigid energy moves with extreme slowness inside Huang Xiaolong's meridians. Every inch it passes, Huang Xiaolong's blood were about to freeze up. Gritting his teeth, he kept persisting, running Azura Tactics' first layer exercise law, repeating over and over. Gradually the cold frigid energy inside his body refined into pure battle chi. The moment the cold frigid energy successfully refined into battle chi, Huang Xiaolong realized that it only took half an hour's time. Compared to Xianqin exercise law, the results were 10 times better. This discovery is much to Huang Xiaolong's liking. Looks like what the note says is true. Although the netherworld's spiritual energy is hard to refine, but once successful the benefits are huge. The note kept in the spine of Azura Tactics, mentioned that practicing Azura Tactics builds a connection with the netherworld's spiritual energy that tempers his physique. That cold frigid air without a doubt is the so-called netherworld spiritual energy. Netherworld spiritual energy is one of the superior between heaven and earth. The higher the quality of spiritual energy, the better it is to temper the physical body. The converted battle chi is purer and more powerful. This is the gap between exercise laws. The higher the rank of an exercise law, the quality of spiritual energy absorbed is higher. The converted battle is stronger. In martial spirit world, the ones practicing high-rank exercise law are capable of leapfrog challenge opponents are due to this. Martial spirits determine a person's strength and future achievements. And the quality of exercise law practiced is equally important. Time flies and soon 1 month has passed. In this 1 month, apart from practicing Huang Xiaolong practices, the only difference is instead of Xianqin exercise law given to him by Huang Peng, he is practicing Azura Tactics and the body metamorphose scripture. After replacing his exercise law, Huang Xiaolong's practiced speed increased. 1 month after returning from the valley, he reached peak second order. Anytime soon he will be able to break through to third order warrior. In the bewitching darkness, silvery moonlight streams down. Huang Xiaolong sat cross-legged on the cold jade bed. Spiritual energy of the netherworld pours down from the void devoured by the double-headed serpent martial spirits with their jaws wide open. The battle chi within Huang Xiaolong's body kept swirling violently like raging waves crashing. The same way he felt when he was in peak first order breaking through to second order. However, breaking through to third order warrior is much harder. The resistance barrier is thicker. But Huang Xiaolong perseveres. His battle chi continue crashing against the barrier. Not knowing how much time has lapsed when suddenly a minute crack appeared in the third order barrier. Aware that the third order barrier is loosening, Huang Xiaolong feels excited and starts to attack the barrier more aggressively. The barrier's minute crack grew bigger when finally a sound of explosion resounded within Huang Xiaolong's body. Like a flash flood, battle chi rushes into the third layer meridians in triumphant. Third order finally broke through to the third order warrior. Huang Xiaolong opened his eyes, unable to hide the jubilation in his heart. Once break through third order, then fourth order is not far away. If advances to fourth order, then can start practicing battle skills. And once he reaches fourth order, the martial spirits will evolve. At that time there will be a martial spirit's innate talent. Huang Xiaolong thought inwardly. At age 7 martial spirits awakens. However, the awakened martial spirits is just in its infancy. Only when battle chi reaches the fourth order the martial spirits will evolve to become stronger, while the owner of the martial spirits will gain the martial spirit's innate talent, ability or skills. The higher the grade of the martial spirits, the innate talent after evolving will be more powerful. But the fourth order is only a general indication. There are some with low-level martial spirits grade 1, 2 and 3 due to the martial spirit's natural limit. Without some fortuitous adventure, breaking through to fourth order will be a tedious challenge. That's why some people with low-level martial spirits never gained a martial spirit's innate talent in their lifetime. For they are unable to reach the fourth order, thus their martial spirits are unable to go through evolution. Getting down from the cold jade bed, Huang Xiaolong left his room. At this time of the night, the air is foggy. Under the moonlight, Huang Xiaolong's silhouette disappeared in a flash, appearing again in the back mountain, running Azura Tactics. His eyes turned a color of blood red and his jet-black hair fully turned white. Black aura of slaughter rotates around his body constantly. This physique attained after practicing Asura tactics body of Asura. But this is only the initial stage transformation. According to the explanation on the piece of note. Once Huang Xiaolong mastered the highest level of Asura tactics, then he can transform into a real Asura. After transforming into body of Asura, Huang Xiaolong movement under the moonlight is akin to a floating black cloud. Waving his hands, suddenly a palm containing traces of frigid airstrikes towards a huge tree ahead pierces through, coming out from the other end of the tree trunk into a second and a third tree. On 4 trunks of the tree were embedded with a child's palm print. Looking at the 4 palm print on the tree trunks, Huang Xiaolong nodded his head in satisfaction. Entering the third order combined with the nether battle chi, the damage power of ethereal palm increased about 4 times, and with his current strength, he is capable of killing a late third order warrior. Of course, after advancing to third order and the tempering from the netherworld spiritual aura, Huang Xiaolong physique is more developed and stronger. Spending some time to practice the body metamorphose scripture in the back mountain, Huang Xiaolong only returned to Huang Clan Manor when the sky brightens. Once back in Huang Clan Manor, Huang Xiaolong was called to the eastern courtyard hall by Huang Peng. "Dad, Mom. You were looking for me?" Entering the eastern courtyard's hall, Huang Xiaolong asked as he sat down. Huang Peng and Su Yan looked complicated and hesitant. Yesterday, Huang Wei advanced to First Order Warrior. Huang Peng eventually opened his mouth and said. Only then Huang Xiaolong understood his parents' purpose in calling him over. In short, they are still worried about the year-end's clan assembly. But, less than 2 months' time, Huang Wei actually advanced to First Order. So fast? Logically speaking, even though Huang Wei possesses a grade 10 martial spirits, the three-eyed black tiger, it's still impossible to advance to First Order in such short time. Dad spent a huge sum of money in the county's auction house to procure a stock 1,000 years Lyrian heartgrass. Huang Peng went on to say. 1,000 years Lyrian heartgrass. Huang Xiaolong was shocked, then he sneered. No wonder in less than 2 months' time Huang Wei was able to advance to First Order Warrior. It is all due to grandfather Huang Cheetah spending a huge sum of money to get a 1,000-year-old Lyrian heartgrass for Huang Wei's practice. One stalk of 1,000-year-old Lyrian heartgrass is not something cheap. And it's obvious enough that grandfather Huang Cheetah thinks Huang Wei is the future pillar of Huang Clan Manor, thus spending all resource and effort to culture him. Whereas him, though being a grandson to the same person, disregarding the Lyrian heartgrass, Huang Xiaolong did not even get a battle chi dan.